So, welcome to Sunday evening talk. So, every week you come and experience a lot of power, a lot of inner peace. Yes. So this is another Sunday evening talk. We experience the same kind of peace and happiness. Sunday evening talk is one of the feature of Shanti Sarovar along with Bala Brindavanam for kids, right? So Sunday evening talk, we have different speakers across the world, different topics, different themes, and different audiences, of course, to learn and know about practical importance of spirituality, how we can bring the practical practice of spiritual lifestyle or in daily routine. So one such talk today, we have a great speaker amongst us is Sister Jenna from Washington, D.C., America. So let's welcome her with a round of applause. So what all we have to do?
Thank you.
So you're also there. So today's topic is relationships and what about
Navigating.
stress, tension? So transforming tension, a spiritual approach to navigating difficult relationships. Everyone having difficult relationships?
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So, how we make those relationships fruitful, understanding, approachable, peaceful. So, that will be today's talk. A little brief about Sister Jenna. You might have experienced by now what she is, how she is very proactive. She is encouraging you to come forward, and she herself came onto the stage. So, that is what proactive approach is all about in life. So she is such a beautiful, sweet soul. She is an acclaimed spiritual mentor and author, is committed to bridging divides in societies and building relationships between global influencers. She is the director of the Meditation Museum in the Washington, D.C. area and hosts the popular America Meditating radio show. So she hosted many people in that, many religious leaders on top level also. She did radio show with them, and her dedication to service is showcased through her reception of the prestigious President's Lifetime National Community Service Award, alongside her role in the Evolutionary Leaders Circle, a group of influencing thought leaders dedicated to conscious evolution. So, such a great personality with us this evening. So, let's have full benefit of Sister Jenna. Okay. Thank you, Sister Jenna. Right.
Hyderabad for me feels like home. For many people who are close to me, they've heard me say this more than once. Even when I hear Telugu, I get emotional. And whenever I come here, I'm just home. That means there's some deep stories in the soul lodged. Because I think maybe within the last 10 years I've been to Hyderabad the most, but I haven't been coming to Hyderabad. And a lot of the souls that serve with me in Washington and live with me are from Andhra or Telangana. And I go, I must have karmas here. So I personally think it's the love of the people. It's the quality of the soul that I connect with that has a lot to do with even who I am as a person. And relationships have a big connection to what you're used to and what you're not. Sometimes when people are different, you call them difficult. Did you hear that? And sometimes when people are different, you call them difficult. Should I say it one more time? You get it now, you're getting it, right? The person is different, and then you say, he's so difficult, she's difficult, can't manage it anymore. but they're just different. They're different in their thinking pattern. They're different in their speech. They're different in their mannerisms. They're different in their decision making. And because they're different and you haven't taken the time at your heart level to recognize that they're just different, and then to try to understand that there's a different way that they live, that there's a different way that they think, there's a different way that they do things, then when you take the time to think of them in that way, you can always find love for that person. But we very rarely ever do that. We will consistently plant and serve that seed of thought. They're so difficult. And when they're difficult, then what you do, you only look at them with that vibration, and they continue to be different, and they're wondering, what's wrong with you? I'm just being myself. And what you're thinking is you're difficult. You're not thinking that they're different. There must have been a reason why God created us differently. Maybe God made a mistake with half of the billion people in India and made 500 million people difficult instead of different. And so I want to kind of start us off with that. And I want to invite everybody who has taken the time to come tonight to sit in your heart. Don't sit in your head with me, please. I'm not a heady person, but could you just sit in your heart for a minute? And then listen. And then hopefully by the end of the night, there will be a huge transformation for you in your relationships. Especially the ones you live with. Are you sitting in your heart yet? I'm just waiting. On many occasions, when I have been given the fortune and the honor to come on a dais or a gadi, and God and the universe or the drama says, use this child to help my other children to see me. And so I sit on this gadi or this dais, not thinking you don't know what to do, not thinking that you are less than me, but I sit on this dais saying, you know, we're growing together in this company called life. You know, we're growing together in this school called life. Did you know that we are growing together in this world together? Keep sitting in your heart. And what happens to us is that we move away from understanding these simple things. And maybe right now everything is making sense, even though I've just started speaking in just 7 minutes. But the minute you get up from the seat, you go back to the old. Maybe you have to go back to that same spouse, go back to that same mother-in-law, see that same sister or that same brother. But when you're sitting and you're listening to me now with your heart, you feel like you're the most perfect human being on the planet. Like I know everything that she's saying. I can do this. And the minute you get up, something happens. So that's why practicing on a regular basis every single day is important. You practice how to look at yourself in the mirror and see a beautiful soul who has beautiful thoughts and who speaks beautiful words and who wants beautiful things for the world. I was at Kana Shanti Vanam. What a wonderful facility. Daiji, I interviewed him a few times on my radio show. He's the head of the facility. And there's a mirror in the bathroom. And it's a big mirror with light all around this mirror. And I'm getting ready before my talk. I had 3 talks in 3 different pavilions. And when I looked into the mirror, I was so surprised. I went, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. And I had never looked into a mirror and saw Jenna as a physically beautiful person. Can you believe that? I looked in the mirror, I go, oh my gosh, this is such a good mirror. It makes you look so good. Asked the sisters who were with me, I says, did you see this mirror in the bathroom? It makes you look pretty. I literally said that. A day before that, I was in Mumbai. I was in a bathroom that was as big as a plain bathroom. I mean, the bathroom, the toilet, and the sink was in the same spot. And when I looked into the mirror, I couldn't see the same thing I saw in Kanavanam's mirror. I saw a different person. Isn't that interesting? I come to Shanti Sarovar. I'm in a loving, simple, beautiful room. And there is a mirror there too. And I told the sister with me, this doesn't look like the mirror at Kanavanam. I look different in this mirror too. That's the way it is with every single person you meet. You get it? Each person you go in front of is a mirror for you. Some mirrors reflect the best of who you are, who you would have never believed you could ever be so good, so beautiful, so happy, so powerful, so pure. And you're like, such a beautiful mirror. You just want to keep looking into that mirror. And then you turn to another mirror and you're like, oh wow, you look different in this mirror. When you look at that person, you see a defect in them. You see that they're difficult. You see their defects. And you don't even like looking at them, but you live with them. Anyone has one of those mirrors? You actually live with that mirror. And so every day, it's the same mirror. It's not the mirror at Kanavanam. It's this mirror. And you try to clean it, but every day people are using the bathroom now, so the water flashes on the same mirror. I told you the bathroom in Mumbai was so choti, so small, right? And there's some people that you look into the mirror, you look at them and you look into that mirror and you're like, okay, nothing much, you can manage. It's not great, but it could be worse. You can manage them. So I want to talk to you about that mirror, the one I had in Mumbai. No matter how you look into it, you couldn't see yourself looking good. Every time you're in front of that person, you are the worst of yourself. For some reason, only in that mirror. Whenever that mirror is in front of you, you get nasty, you are disrespectful, you don't care. As far as you're concerned, that person can go to the North Pole and you'll be happy. Anyone has a mirror like that? I want you to think about this from your heart, right? When you look into that mirror, how that makes you feel. When you think of a person like that, when you look at them with those feelings, how much more dirtier your mirror gets. And if you watch yourself, you complain so much about that mirror that you forgot that it's a reflection of yourself that you're looking at. But because you're not sitting in your heart, you're not being honest with yourself, so you can't change anything. When you sit in your heart, you have the power to transform your waste, negative, and unnecessary thoughts. When you sit in your head, you can spend the rest of your life blaming your mother, your father, your in-law, your husband, your wife, your kids, your next-door neighbor, your friend, your business partner, your colleague at work, the woman next door, the neighbor next door, the traffic, the colleague, the supervisor. You can blame everybody, and the mirror gets dirtier and dirtier because you're not sitting in your heart, so you can't be honest with the self. Very nice point. Very nice point. Very good point. Very good point. And it's very true, brother. And if you think of this for yourself in relationship to anyone, you sitting here now with me, there is a person or two or three that is sitting in your heart that only your head is thinking about with them. The person, whatever they said, did, or didn't do, whatever is the feeling you've taken from that experience of the person, it's sitting in the heart. And when you think of them, it's really you're thinking of them with only your head. And I'll explain what it means. Somehow you can't see their good qualities because your heart is blocked. You're sitting only with the negativities that you remember or think of in them. And you continue to record it over and over again. He's so difficult. She's so difficult. I just can't handle any more of this. Of course we have limits at that moment. But at a soul level, the soul has no limits. But you can let somebody's waste or defect sit in your heart. Isn't it right, brother? You can let the person's defects sit in your heart, that your intellect and your head will keep thinking and charter only the negativities about the person. And you forgot that they're different. You forgot that they're a mirror for you. You forget so many things, right? That too. Good point. Beautiful point. Beautiful point. So when you surround yourself with really good and positive energy, you also start to practice seeing the best of yourself. This is very true. This is very true. So I want to simplify what I'm saying, and I'm hoping you're catching something. Is everybody catching something? Put your hands up if you are. You're catching what I'm saying. Can you relate to it? And if you're not able to, so what I'm saying to you is, everyone that comes in front of you is a mirror. Number two, if you sit in your heart, you'll be honest with yourself to recognize what you have to change when you look into that mirror. Number three, if you don't, you will just keep overthinking and intellectualizing about how defective that person is and how difficult that person is, and you keep shutting your heart down more and more and more till you don't feel. And if you do feel, what do you feel? Anger, rage, disappointment, jealousy, competition, revenge. You isolate yourself. It's like a feeling, but it's not a real feeling that gives you power. Okay. Today is about you and me overcoming these challenges, okay? Everybody believes there's a God. If you don't believe there's a God, everybody believes there's good. So who said yes? That little baby said yes. Who said that? Good girl. Good girl. So there is a God and there is a good. Now, in Bhakti, forgive me if my numbers are off. I don't give the Raj Yoga course as much as I used to. But I believe there are a little bit over 300 million deities. Am I right or wrong? Somebody help me. 33 million or 300? 33 million. Yeah, much easier number, no? So 33 million deities. How many of you would like to have 30 million US dollars? Hands up. Nobody else wants 33 million US dollars? Wow, you must be really contented. But there are 33 million deities. Now I want you to visualize this. There is one deity out of the 33 million that says, I don't want to share God with you. I don't want the 999 million deities to have any of God. I only want God from myself. If I don't have God from myself, I don't want to talk to God anymore. It's an interesting visual, right? It's an interesting visual. Think about it for a little bit. If God doesn't give me 100% of the attention that I deserve, that I want from God, I don't want Him. Not interested. I'm not sharing God with you. I'm not sharing God with 33 million others. It's my God, no other God. But as human beings, we have this energy in us that we want to control relationships. And if I don't own another human being fully for myself, then I don't want nothing from that person. There are some people like that, you know. They're called relationships that are controlling. You see, when you look at relationships, it's important that you first look inside yourself and find out what is it that your spirit needs. And there are two qualities I've observed every human being that I've ever met desire: love and respect. I might not have a penny, but if you show me love and respect, I feel like I have the entire world. If you're in a marriage and she doesn't treat you with respect, you just dislike her. If you're in a marriage and he doesn't treat you with love, you don't like him. Everybody survives on love and respect. And when you don't feel loved or respected, watch the chaos that happens around you, the tsunami of emotions that emerge around you. You lose so much of you. People aren't really difficult. You must take time to understand the needs of each other. Perception. They're just different. And the moment you create an interpretation about somebody and you are interpreting them from their lower vibration and what they are fighting with at a personal level, you can never accept them. You'll never accept them. And if you focus on everything that's wrong with them, you'll never see what's right in you at the right level. You will think you're only better than them because you're not like them. And even that doesn't make sense as an equation, a math equation. 1 and 1 is? How much is 1 and 1? Kids? Kids, 1 plus 1 is how much? Not 11? 1 plus 1 is 2 or 11? She's thinking. It's 2, right? Oh my gosh, I'm going to get into trouble with God. I'm so confusing her right now. But 1 and 1 is 2. Oh, you're right. No, you were right. 1 and 1 is 2. You're right. You were absolutely right. And so what happens when you confuse, oh my gosh, I'm going to have such bad karma tonight. So 1 plus 1 is 2, and she's right. Oh, you got to give me your blessings tonight. I am in so much trouble right now. The thing is that in relationships, you add up the formula in a wrong way. Just see what happens? I just confused her. That was the perfect example. So I didn't even mean to, 1 and 1 is not 11. And it's like, and this is what's happening in relationships. You are not understanding me. I am not what you're saying I am. You get it? You see the great example of that angel? I'm going to do a lot of praying and meditation tonight. But you see the example? When you confuse and you look at somebody without love, that sorrow that they feel, that sadness, you're not hearing me, you're not loving me, you're not understanding me, you're not trusting me. And it creates sadness in the other person. So at what point will we stop this? At what point will we stop giving sorrow to each other and taking sorrow? Did you know that there are over 6 billion people in the world in poverty today? Did you know that? If you Google the poverty meter in the world, there are 6 billion human beings living in poverty right now as I speak. They don't have food, shelter, clothes, dignity, or respect. Do you know how fortunate you are? And you will complain because they looked at you this way. They didn't talk to you right. They did this, they did that. There are 6 billion people who don't know where they're going to get food as I speak to you. Please stop finding fault with little things and losing so much power. I'll take a moment to pause. And I'd like to give my little angel that I gave sorrow to blessings. I didn't mean to, Dad. I'm so sorry. She was right. 1 and 1 is 2. And I just want us to give her her blessings, all the blessings. A beautiful, brilliant little star that she is, that beautiful angel who's absolutely perfect. Sister Jenna is sorry. It wasn't intentional. These are the small things that can create big problems in relationships. Little things that make you start to hate people. Simple things. Why? So here's a practice and an exercise. Ready? Sit up straight. Make sure your phones are on silence. I'd like you to take a moment. I've done this with you maybe last time I was here, but I like to do this over and over again because it's very important. the person that is sitting right next to you, whether it's somebody on your right or on your left, I'd like you to step again into your heart, behind your eyes. Close your eyes for a moment. Inhale and take a very, very deep breath. And exhale. Breathe in again and keep sinking into your heart. And exhale. Breathe in again very deeply. And exhale. Until you can feel as if the pure emotions of your heart is awakening. Breathe in one more time. And sit in the heart. Whoever you choose, the person to your left or the person to your right, from your purest feelings inside, bless them with your good wishes and pure feelings. By thinking for that person, I wish you well. I truly wish your purest wishes, dreams, and goals, they will come true for you. I wish you wealth, that you'll never lack a penny, a dime, that you will always financially have an abundance. I wish you love, that love will surround you all the time. I wish you wisdom to deal with situations you can't change, but the wisdom to give love no matter what. I want you to observe how it makes you feel. And I'd like to invite you to sit in the silence of this pure feeling. Keep wishing this person the best. Bless them. And just observe how you're feeling, giving your blessings to others. Sharing your good wishes and pure feelings to others. How are you feeling? What is it doing to you on the inside of the soul? And at this time, invite God to increase the feeling. You're serving the soul next to you with the purest of feelings, the best of wishes. And God's loving vibration is flowing through you to them at this very moment. Let the vibrations of these pure feelings spread throughout your whole being to the person next to you and into the room. You are a well-wisher. You give blessings, and you wish to uplift everyone in your presence, even if you don't know them. Bless them. Observe how the soul is feeling. Your head, the brain, your shoulders, your arms, your chest, your stomach, legs, feet, toes. Stay inside of your heart. Observe what's happening inside of you, the transformation that's occurring. There's something changing in you. By now you should be feeling God's light pulsating through your being to the person next to you as a blessing. Gently take a deep breath in. Exhale slowly. Breathe in deeply again. Exhale slowly. Breathe in again. Exhale slowly. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Become present in the room. And I'd like you to observe the way that you're feeling as you open your eyes. And what I believe you should be feeling is a shift in you, subtle. As if something changed in you, which your intellect has no idea, but your heart can feel something is happening to me. My mind feels different, doesn't it? A little lighter, a little easier, a little more open to dealing with things, right? Now imagine if you did this every day, if you did it twice a day, if you did it 3 times a day, every day, what would be the power building in you? what would be that power? Would anybody coming in front of you be difficult now, or would they just be different? They'd be different. It seems so simple, right? But you just have to keep practicing. It's just that when you come out of Shanti Sarovar, you forget everything you learned here. And maybe not. So what I'd like to do is to pause here for a moment and do a little exercise with you. Okay? It might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it's all for a good reason. Okay? I'm going to play almost like a musical chair with you. So I know you're comfortable in your seat. If you're elderly, if your back hurts, if your feet hurt or something, you can stay in your seat. But I want you to recognize a practice that you move into many different relationships, but the soul is also moving into different births. And each time you move into a different relationship or a different birth, you feel different. Now, you don't understand what I'm telling you because it's intellectual, but I'm going to ask you to change your seat and you'll understand what I mean. After 3 Om Shantis, get up and find a seat. You can laugh, you can fight for your seat, you can do whatever you want. But when you sit in your new seat, you will understand what I mean. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Change your seat. I liked how these two cheated. They just went the other seat. Now, like, look at this, you're in the same seat. Okay, now, how do you feel? Different or difficult? This was easier for you? Okay, good. So you feel how just changing a seat made your energy shift? Did you feel different? Every new person you come into contact with is also contributing in changing your vibrations. Can you believe that? And every time you as a soul take another birth, you're changing a seat and you're going through a different experience. Now, I can tell you to change your seat 6 more times. You know what would happen? You would say, I'm leaving this program. This is enough. Please don't tell her to ask me to change 1 more time. My knees are hurting. But imagine you as a soul dealing with many people. Imagine you as a soul changing many births. Imagine if I told you to change your seat tonight 20 more times. Are you going to start to get fed up? More than likely. Yeah, I did it already in a program. They were so angry with me by the end. What happens is that every time you change bodies and you change places, things, it gets frustrating because you thought you were so comfortable where you are. Even if you were going through a problem with this person or a problem with that person or that, you don't mind going through the problem with that person, even though you don't want it. But whenever you change, you get happy for a little bit of the change. It's new, it's different. Then you find problems are still coming. Isn't that something? So I want to tell you this. Change is going to always happen to you. And things are going to feel different for you. It's a part of the journey. If as a soul, you're taking birth and rebirth, birth and rebirth, how many things are you carrying in you? Somebody did something to you 10 years ago and you can still remember it absolutely what they said and how they said it. But ask somebody, give me a point from the Gita. Where, hold on, let me think. Or what was your class today? I had too much going on. But every time somebody does something negative, you remember that to a T. But you don't remember all the good things somebody tells you or has done for you. Why is that? Because you let that thing sit in the heart. The negative things you let sit in the heart. The positive and the good things, you throw it away. That's not a good thing. All right. You want to try another exercise? Don't worry, you don't have to get up. Now I'm going to ask you to close your eyes again. Sit up straight. I'm giving you very practical tools. Is there one person that gives you sorrow? Hands up. Anybody has one person that gives them sorrow? Am I giving you sorrow? Anybody gives you sorrow? Anybody has a person that gives them sorrow? Nobody. That's a pretty... The two people who lifted up their hands are two people I've seen arguing with each other. How cute was that story? Self gives sorrow. Okay. Is there anyone in this room that has given somebody else sorrow? Hands up. Okay. Is there anybody in this room that has taken sorrow from somebody? Hands up. Why do you take sorrow from somebody? Let's say I'm in an off mood. Oh, don't talk to her today. She's in a really bad mood. I can't stand when she gets like that. How many of you have taken somebody's sorrow? Why? Are you familiar with sorrow? Is it that you know what criticism, competition, comparison feels like? So you see, the minute the person sees that, the minute you see a critical person, I see you criticizing me. Mirror, huh? Mirror? And then you'll go, you were like that. So here's your next exercise. It's your attachment to the old. It's your attachment to your role. That's another form of sorrow. Any form of attachment is a form of sorrow. That is true. So if you've got one person that, and I was happy to see not a lot of hands went up. Either you're sitting next to that person who's giving you sorrow and you don't want them to know, or they're in the room and you don't want them to see your hand, or this is a very evolved group. So to that one person, and if it's like you think it's yourself, to that one person, even if you think it's yourself, close your eyes. Close your eyes. And in your mind, not with your lips, but in your mind, call the person's name. See their face. Just choose one person, no more than one. Call their name. See their faces, their face. Observe how your chest, your heart feels when you call their name and see their face. Maybe because the program has given so much love, you don't feel the intensity from them now. But just for now. And I need you to put your hands on your heart. So take your both hands and put it on your heart. Press it gently. Call their name again in your mind. Look at their face. And I want you to reduce them in the size and the form of a 1-year-old in your mind. shrink them into being a 1-year-old for you. Look at them as a baby, a child. And with your hand on your heart, bless them. And you tell them, I wish you well. I don't wish you any harm. I know you're doing the best that you can. But look at them as a 1-year-old and send them your love. And your peace. And your good wishes. And in this awareness, God's presence appears next to you, giving you more light, more compassion, more courage, and more strength to keep blessing them with your pure feelings and good wishes. They're a 1-year-old in front of your eyes, the same name. Now they're in a baby feature. Bless them. God is sitting next to you. And His light is shining so bright through you. Because all God wants is to shine through you. And He can only shine through you when you're loving and kind and pure-hearted and at peace with yourself. I want you to observe what you're feeling. Don't stop blessing them. Forgive them. Just forgive them. They're different. Forgive that child who's also a child of God like you. God is sitting next to you and saying they need help. And they need me. But I need you to help me help them at this time. Forgive them. Just forgive them. Just let it go. Observe what you're going through and what you're feeling right now. Take your time. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Place your both hands, palms up. so the vibration in the air can keep flowing through. If you need to rub your hands, you can rub them. Put energy, let it out, let it out. Observe your feelings at this time. You've gone through a big transformation. You've done a big cleansing. You've opened up a new pathway. Okay? All right. Transformation is an easy process, but it can happen very fast for you if you do it from the heart and not from the head. And so what I'd like to do is to just pause in the space, and if anyone would like to share something or ask a question, or if you'd like to just sit more in meditation or in silence, you're welcome to do that. How to control stress. It's the way you've used the word control stress. Can I share with you a story? So I would say before COVID, I've been used by God a lot in America. And people used to say, how does Sister Jenna do it? Even my colleagues would be like, how does she do it? And I used to question, what do they mean? I don't understand. I found what I love to do. I don't get into people's business. I don't gossip. I don't want to look at the garbage that you're throwing away and that you and God have to work on. So I've not had a lot of stress. Now, the times that I felt stressful was when I felt I was taking on too much and God wasn't there, one. Number two, even the littlest of tasks I was doing, I had ego in doing it. So the ego was stressing me, not the task. 3, when I was attached to, one sister said in the back, attached to a role, a label, a religion, an idea, and I wasn't allowing the principle of love or respect to flow, it was stressing me. To the point that I want to point out to you, brother, is your stress comes from the influence of an acronym called ALGE. A for anger, L for lust, G for greed, A for attachment, and E for ego. That is stress. And if you can stop thinking from the influence of ALGE, you will be able to control, manage, and eliminate stress. Does that answer your question? Yeah. So if you don't think from ALGE consciousness, you will eliminate, control, or reduce the stress in you. I've had times where just washing dishes was stressful because my bhavna wasn't in it. I didn't want to wash the dishes. So I'm stressed out. If you watch your activities in a day, you're not doing that much, but you're thinking a lot. So check your thoughts and check your intention behind your thoughts. Any other question? What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is a term that comes from Buddhism. But in Raj Yoga teachings, we call it karma yoga. So when you're in action, where are your thoughts? So for Raj Yoga taught by the Brahma Kumaris, we are karma yogis. So when we're in action, we focus, the intellect focus, my heart gets focused on God. And I begin to believe and feel, I have the belief, God is using me to clean the floors. God is using me to make these chapatis. God is using me to cook this biryani. which I would love before I leave Hyderabad. God is using me to get dressed. God is using me now to use my lips to speak to you. So that's mindfulness on the Buddhist terminology, but in Raj Yoga teaching is called Karma Yoga. Is that clear? Any other questions today? The vibrations in the room feels so good. Are you feeling it? Doesn't it feel like a wave of like God is serving you right now? Like He's removing so much of your burdens tonight. By the time you leave until you get to traffic, you're going to be so good. Beautiful. Yes. Yes. But there's a part in the soul that you sit in. So brother's asking, when you say sit in the heart, do you mean the soul? The heart, we all know by now, is an organ, but the soul has three faculties. It has a mind that thinks, it has an intellect, willpower that decides, then it has sanskaras, the subconscious experiences that you're carrying. When I say to sit into the heart, I'm asking your intellect to go into a place in you where you know good feelings live in your soul. So then we'll say, hold the heart, because we connect the heart to love. So then you're going into the soul where your best feelings reside. That's where love is. And then you're thinking of blessing the people, blessing yourself, blessing the environment. Does that help with clarifying the question? Yes? Yes. So we all know by now the heart is an organ. It doesn't feel, but the soul does. Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's a great question. A lot of times you've forgiven somebody, but the other person hasn't forgiven you. Has anyone ever felt that? And many times we're wanting that person to forgive you or to love you again, right? So I have a handful of relationships like that. There's one person in particular, my family hears me mention that person's name a lot. And there's one sister, she will always say, don't think she doesn't like you. Don't think like that. And she's right. I really have forgiven this person. But you know what's interesting, brother? And I don't know if you have felt it too. My heart knows I've forgiven them, but for some reason I don't know why I haven't forgotten. So I think when you actually forget what actually occurred between both of you, something will change. That's one point. The second point is, don't have the expectation that they should return that forgiveness to you, because perhaps when you released the feelings you were holding for them and you forgive them, that was your release. So you're done. You are free. As time moves on in life, they might come around and maybe they might not. But within you, there should be this feeling that I really let this go. I don't expect them to return it. Now that's going to be your assignment. So whenever you feel the expectation of them returning that forgiveness, you can catch yourself. I could forgive more, it looks like, because I shouldn't expect anything from them. That means I still subtly feel you owe me this. So then I say to myself, no, there doesn't owe me nothing. My karma with the soul is just completing. How many now? 8 billion souls in the world? And this one person is getting to me. I have to let that go too. Huh? I would send them my love. If I see them, I check immediately how I feel. If there's a little resistance, there's still more room for forgiveness. If I hear their voice or their name, I check if there's any kind of a discomfort. Then I'll check. This is private now. Nobody knows I'm doing it. Then I'll go, okay, I call God Baba. The Supreme Soul for me is Baba. I say, Baba, I have to clean my heart out for this person. I bless them. Let it go. And I know each time I do that, I'm getting better. Is it practical and easy? Yeah. Anybody else? Hmm. Yeah, that's a big one. I'm going through that with my mother. She's not physically passed on, but she has dementia. So I've lost her. Her personality isn't there for me anymore. And as spiritual as I think I am, or all my years on this path, for a few months I cried. I just missed her, you know. I saw this person in front of me every day, but there's nothing there that I remembered. Her physical body's there, but she's not there. And so you feel that void. And the void is a good thing, because what you're realizing is how much that person was compensating for something that God should have been compensating for me. So then the void that I was feeling with my mother, little by little, brother, I would just say, I so appreciate what she's given me. But God's my mother, right? That Supreme Being is my mother, right? That's the mother of all mothers, right? That's the one who knows me better than anyone else, right? And so little by little, the void was getting filled. Is it filled completely? No. But it's much more than it was before. And so just whenever the emotions come up or you feel it, then you'd redirect your energy. God, the Supreme Power, is the ocean of love and knows everything that I need. You go to that energy. And it'll keep filling you. As much as you can take from God, that much He will give. Anybody else? How to avoid the negative feeling when you're being disrespected or scolded. Move to another country. I tell you, it's the easiest thing. It takes time, because each of us, we're developing our self-respect. And through the person who is scolding you and disrespecting you, again, I take you to the mirror in Kanavanam, that mirror made me look good. And this person, the mirror in Mumbai, wasn't making me look good at all. So you have to look at them as if they're becoming a gauge to help you to see how much self-value you have. One. Secondly, are they scolding you? Are they scolding you, or are they distressed? Can you recall some of the scenes with them? Do they feel a comfort with you that they can be their worst? For some reason they feel you can take it? I'm just asking. You think about it. You had a bad day at work, you came home, and the only person you let it out on is your spouse. They were so happy cooking or cleaning or whatever. Then all of a sudden you came in with an ugly face. What's the problem? What happened? I didn't do anything to you today. I used to get scolded by this instrument in my young days. Every single day. Nothing I did seemed right for her. Nothing. And I went through a period where I thought, I'm so bad. Why did God even choose me for this path? This person just thinks I'm the worst thing ever. But then I kept thinking about this. God said to me, if you feel hurt, it's your ego. If you feel insulted by anyone, it is your ego. The person might not have insulted you. Maybe they did insult you, but why am I taking it? It's my ego. So then what I would do, this is my personal feeling. little by little, I would cry going to work. There's not a day that didn't go by that woman did not scold me or say something bad about me. And on my way to work, I'd be in tears. And I knew, but God said to me, Baba says, if I take insult, that's my ego. She's wrong. He's wrong for what he's saying. But I'm not doing the right thing for me. But I'm not this, no? So I would start to do this self-talk. And I would start to say, what is good about you? Then I would find one thing, two things, three things. And then God whispered to me and said, your good deeds will not go to waste. Keep doing good. I don't care how much she scolds you. You keep doing good. Your good deed will not go to waste. And no matter how awful that woman was to me, I kept doing good. God never said I was that person. God never spoke to me like that. And what would happen is that my relationship with God got even closer because of her negativity towards me. It became my blessing at the end. Maybe the scolder is trying to tell you, don't expect so much from me. I don't have it to give you. Go to God. I just don't have it. And then maybe when you go to God and get the power and they see you, then they start to realize themselves. Food for thought. Make sense? I'm telling you my personal experiences. Okay. Let's take a moment of Om Shanti. I'd like to... Please. Go ahead. No. You can. Yes, of course. Please.
Forgiveness, acceptance, emotional height, emotional infection. This all I understand. Because the more we accept other person, they keep on behaving very rudely. And then they take it advantage. And then they will think they will keep on consistently. They will not stop, and moreover they start behaving like a criminal. How do you adjust this situation?
Oh yeah, that's a big thing.
The more we accept,
I know that is a
they
big
make
thing.
more advantage.
That's a big one. We're supposed to end at 8 or 8:30. Can I meet you afterwards? Whoever's been blackmailed, you want to meet me after class? Okay. It's stubbornness, actually. It's not as much blackmail as it is the stubbornness and people using a technique to try to get what they're trying to get from you.
They know what they pretend. Other person also.
I know. It's a game.
It is a game.
If you are rooted in God's power, nobody has power over you. Nobody can bother you. I'm telling you as a fact. If you have God as your complete world, nobody can touch you. Nobody. But you have to be so rooted in God's power, they can't touch you. They can carry on, but they can't hurt you. I'm proof. I am living proof of that. But we can talk about that. I thought we were ending at 8:30. I'm so sorry. I thought we were ending at 8:30 and it's 8. So what we'll do, we'll close with a meditation. Is there anything you wanted to share? We have one of my sisters traveling with us. Today's her birthday. Stand up if everybody can wish her birthday greetings. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Devya. Happy birthday to you. I'm putting her on the spot. We wish you all the best, all the love, everything that's good for you. Anything you want to share? You're okay, all right. All right, so we'll close off for just a meditation song. I guess maybe a nice, beautiful Hindi song at the end. I'm so sorry, I thought it was 8:30. You know what happened? I thought the program starts at 6. It was 6:30 and then 8. So I'm sorry if I've taken more of your time. For those who would like to meet with me afterwards, you're welcome to. Om Shanti. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed your time. Good.